You're tuned in to Nerd Overload, your weekly show for video games, movies, TV shows, comics, tech news, and more. Now your hosts, Cody Pennick, Samantha Cross, Sam Dunham, and Josh Harrison.
Hey everybody, welcome to Nerd Overload, the pop and geek culture show that was warning you about Omicron when it was just the name of a nomad soul. I'm Cody, and I've got 3 cans of Kloop's beer in my sneak.
I'm David Cage, and I made the bad game.
And I'm Ziggy Stardust.
Thank you all for tuning in. We have a great show for you this week. A bunch of news to go over. But first, let's talk about some things we have been checking out.
Check it out!
Clip that definitely didn't accidentally play during our initial attempt at this intro.
It missed its cue by a mile.
Oh, a mile, and it scared the jeebus right out of me when it did.
Me too. I was like, what is going on?
That is not the right sound.
It's not.
That's not the check it out sound.
I thought maybe like somebody's like phone accidentally did something, or I don't know.
That would be a good ringtone.
That would be a good ringtone. So check them out. I haven't really done much. I am trying to play more of Ocarina of Time on the Switch, and it is...
Does it still look like just hot?
Oh, it is just the worst.
Oh.
It's probably a lot like playing the Grand Theft Auto remasters.
It is, yeah. There's one bit in particular that everyone was kind of pointing to. It was the Shadow Link dungeon. How the water and everything looked so bad. How that screen looked so bad.
Mm-hmm.
And playing through it, and I was like, there's what is going on? And I think I figured it out. So something that N64 games used to use, they would like overlay a couple of textures that have already been loaded into a room to kind of give it like extra depth or something like that, but they turn the opacity super, super down. These Switch re-releases break the opacity on them. So the water in that level, it's actually displaying the texture map for the like a rock all the way back in the corner.
Oh no!
Because they use that as like an extra like depth layer, but it's at 100% or it's at 100%, so it's totally visible. That, along with these ROMs, there is no smoke, there's no fog, there's nothing like that. So it's super, super clear with the wrong texture on the ground, and it looks like garbage.
Oh no, there's no universe where that should have occurred.
Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible.
Like, as many times as they have re-released Ocarina of Time since...
It is the worst version.
Oh, see, that breaks my heart, because, I mean, I have a DS, I could play it on my DS, but I also still have my Master Quest GameCube game that I thought about booting up to play, and I wondered if that would look better.
There's also a weird like lag, like button lag. It is noticeable.
Ooh.
I mean, it's not unplayable, but it is noticeable.
It's no sin and punishment.
You press the button, and then you count half a second, and then the sword swings, which, again, doable. Once you get used to it, it's fine, but it's jarring when you've played the original so much that now all of a sudden it's not going the way you remember it going. And that's not rose-colored glasses. It's just bad game design. Bad porting.
Ocarina is not a hard game to emulate either.
It's not.
They've pretty much mastered that one.
But yeah, I will continue to slog through Ocarina of Time because I am going to finish it, because the weird completionist in me wants to complete this before Majora's Mask comes to the Switch online, and I have to know how bad they butchered my boy. I love Ocarina. I love Majora's Mask. It is probably my favorite Legends of Zelda game. I think it edges out Breath of the Wild just because of the creativeness of the time loop element and how everything runs like clockwork except for what you do in the game to kind of throw wrenches into it. I like that.
It was definitely a weird, I don't want to say weird, an interesting push.
Yeah. Especially when you think that the game was made start to finish in 8 months, because they just took 90% of the assets already made for Ocarina of Time and just
moved them over.
Like, okay, here, do a sequel. Do it now.
It's probably my favorite 3D one, at least.
I think younger me didn't like it so much because you couldn't become Adult Link.
Yeah. Although that was originally in the game. Yeah.
I mean, you kind of become Adult Link a little bit when you put on the Fierce Deity mask.
Yeah. But no, Adult Link was going to be a mask in like an early version of the game.
But you also get to be a Goron and a Zora. That's way cooler than Adult Link.
Here's the thing. I was thinking about this the other day. Why in Goddess Hylia's Green Hyrule can the Zora mask make you shoot thin arm blades?
Well, because it's not set in Hyrule, it's set in Termina, where things are different.
Not that different, but different enough.
Different enough.
Like you've never seen another Zora character just fling their arm fins
True.
like boomerangs.
I've always really liked this design for the Zora. At least from Ocarina on, not the original Zora where they're I do like
the angry face in the water.
I do like the little like the green fish goblin guys
where they look like the creature from the Black Lagoon,
Right?
Spitting fireballs at you.
I found a new fun bug in that Grand Theft Auto remaster.
Let's hear it.
That I haven't heard anybody talking about. I had to do a mission in San Andreas where I had to swim underwater, and I could dive underwater, but I could not move. Like forward locomotion, not happening at all.
Really?
Turns out you have to turn off the tap A or not A, whatever the button is, tap to run in the options, which is default on. You have to go and turn that off if you want to be able to swim.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Otherwise, you'll just go underwater and you can like tilt yourself up and down, but you can't go forward.
You can't move forward. Wow.
Like you can't even just push forward?
You can when you're on the surface, you can push forward, but when you're underwater, nothing.
Huh.
That's so weird.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
That's absolutely awful. Good job, Rockstar.
What is it with games like game companies putting out inferior
remasters of their own work
of their stuff? Is it because they know that people are going to buy it whether it's good or not? So they're just like,
I feel like in this modern age of gaming, we've gotten to such a point where people are so chomping at the bit for nostalgia that they'll just take anything. Like we started off so strong. We really did. Like with Spyro and Crash and stuff, things were great.
Oh, because there was a little bit of money and a little bit of time put behind it.
Yeah, and now people are just like, hey, you remember this? Pretty much.
There it is.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm just like...
I didn't know this until the other day when I read it. There is no physical version of the Grand Theft Auto collection yet.
Really?
They were going to release it later. They've since pushed it back even further
To fix everything.
But I think the fact that they were releasing the on-disc version later to begin with kind of shows that they knew it was a pile of garbage.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
no,
I could have told you it was a money grab.
Yeah.
It's like the Skyrim Definitive Edition that just came out.
Oh.
It's a money grab.
That's pretty bad, too. I watched a video of what the fishing is. You can only do it at certain, like, select points where there's fishing equipment on the ground. And it's, like, more or less Animal Crossing with less interaction. You just throw out the line and you wait for the splash.
Wow.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, what a bummer.
There's better fishing in Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that Hylian Loach.
Oh, I know, right?
I hate having to catch that stupid thing.
There's better fishing in Stardew Valley, and Stardew Valley's fishing makes no sense.
Oh, that is the single negative I have to say about Stardew Valley. The fishing minigame sucks.
Or the fishing minigame in Deadly Premonition, where it's roulette, or not roulette, it's a slot machine.
Oh, yeah.
He casts the line, and you have to stop the slot machine on what you want to catch. It's like, in what universe is this fishing?
I mean, there's fishing in WoW where you throw your line out, and then you just wait for the bobber, and then you right-click it.
Yeah, that's what the Skyrim one sounds like.
Is fishing in games bad?
Unless
always.
it is a specific fishing game.
Because
I would say
I'm
yes.
thinking Sonic Adventure, Big the Cat Fishing.
That's all right.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's all right.
For what it is, for a fishing game that's working within a platform game, that's pretty cool.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
I don't think the fishing in Stardew is bad. I just think it doesn't make any sense.
Oh yeah,
like it's not an accurate portrayal of what fishing.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make sense as a fishing metaphor, I guess.
Well, they had to do something though.
And I do like how sometimes there's a little treasure chest on there. And
the treasure chest, that's a nice touch. Yes.
Also, have we talked about that new game that the Stardew guys?
The Concerned Apes Chocolatier.
I'm going to put that on the news.
Yeah, do it.
We'll talk about that later.
Sure.
Me and Nicole watched the last new season of F is for Family on Netflix.
Oh.
Bill Burr's 70s family sitcom animated thing.
Yes.
It was fine.
Okay.
It exists.
I mean, I really like the show.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's kind of like I don't know, it's got your raunchy adult humor thing, but it's also like grounded in such a way that it's not like outlandishly stupid, like say like your Family Guy or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I said, I like the show. There's one point because Bill Burr actually voices two characters in the show. He voices Frank, the main character, and or at least the dad of the main family or whatever, and Father Pat, a priest in their town. And there's one point where Father Pat like starts losing his composure or whatever, and you can just hear Bill Burr's angry voice coming out of him because he normally just has like a higher octave of talking. And I was like, oh, there's Frank. I don't know. The show's, like I said, I like the show. I know I've talked about it before. I like the show. It's definitely not for children. It's definitely an adult comedy. But it's, set in the 70s. So, I mean, people who probably lived through that era or whatever, probably will get some of the references, even though it's a fictional town with a lot of fictional things in it and fictional references.
It'll push the nostalgia buttons for those boomers.
I mean, to an effect, probably. But there also is a lot of progressive things in the show. Like a big catch of this season was Susan was pushing to bring her estranged brother and her father kind of. I guess like the biggest overarching theme of the show I could say is like maybe the sins of our fathers and like trying to I guess deal with your own trauma of growing up, but also realizing you have trauma and then trying to better it so you're not
passing it on.
So you're not perpetuating it.
Sure.
Because a big thing with like the end of the last season and the beginning of this season was Frank's father coming back into his life, and he was just an absolute tyrant to him as a kid.
Well, this sounds like a real uplifting.
It has its moments.
Yeah.
It has its moments. But basically, he passes away at the end of the previous season, and it's him dealing with that and trying to find closure in his life on that. But also, this whole thing is trying. I guess a lot of it is fatherhood. I think the biggest thing of the whole show is fatherhood, because there's just a lot of things that it seems centered on fathers, basically.
Okay, yeah. Like
one of the characters ends up having a baby, and he realizes his life's purpose now is to raise this kid, and him going from being this, cocaine addicted radio guy to I'm going to write myself and be a dad for this kid. Things like that.
Well, that's cool.
Like I said, I really enjoy the show. There are some parts I really laugh at, and there are other parts I'm just like, oh, this is gross. And then there are there are characters I love, and there's some characters where I can't stand them. Anytime they're on screen, I'm just like, I don't care about you anymore.
Is it as big as a bummer as BoJack can be?
Sometimes, yeah.
I love BoJack, but I can't watch it because it's too much. I will get like contact depression from it.
Oh yeah. No, I hear that. I get that.
Oh yeah. Sure. I mean, there are definitely some moments like that in this. BoJack really hits real hard, like especially like adult depression. And stuff. It's like, oh god. Yeah.
BoJack is brilliant, but it is a hard watch.
Yeah,
especially like in like the kind of the mid to like later.
That's about where I stopped watching it, because I was like, I can't. No,
when you start getting into like the real like deep stuff, like with Sarah Lynn and stuff like that, and you're just like, ooh.
Yeah.
But I love BoJack though. I love BoJack.
Yeah. So you were talking about dark, kind of like dark comedy sitcom kind of thing. Yeah. There is one that I've watched the first episode of, and I want to watch more of it. Have you heard of and I'm going to have to censor myself for the radio. Kevin can F himself.
Oh, that's the one with the girl from Creek. Am I allowed to say it's the name of the show?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you could say it. Yeah,
Yeah. Annie Murphy.
yeah, that's
in
the
that,
one.
yeah.
So do you know anything about that?
No.
It's okay. So what it is, it's set up like it flips back and forth between being like a realistic kind of shot drama and a 2-camera sitcom comedy, and the whole conceit is when the main character's husband Kevin is on screen, it is a King of Queens style, everybody loves Raymond, heightened reality kind of thing. And then as soon as he walks out the door or he leaves or something like that, it switches to like almost like a Law and Order, like actual, like the whole tone, the lighting, the camera style, everything switches to show you the actual reality of what is going on. So
That sounds incredible.
So you have, basically this guy who's kind of a oafish man-child, doing this stuff. Okay, for example, there's one where it's a minor thing, but he's doing some kind of scheme and he breaks his wife's family heirloom as like this table or something like that. And it's a Chris Farley style, like falls on the table, everyone laughs, crowd laughs, and he, and she's like, "Oh, Kevin," and all this stuff. And it looks like the sitcom, and he leaves the room and it cuts and you just see like she's like actually devastated because this was a family heirloom that was passed down from generation to generation.
It's now in pieces on the floor.
That her uncaring husband completely destroyed and didn't apologize or was completely careless with, and like the actual reality of like, okay, this is how it would actually be if Kevin James or Ray Romano or someone had actually, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Actually existed. But as soon as Kevin walks back into the room, everything is 2-camera sitcom with harsh lighting and crowd laughter and all this stuff. And it keeps flipping back and forth. And apparently at one point they try to well, there's a whole subplot with selling oxycodone.
Oh,
And there's a whole subplot with like a assassination attempt and all this stuff. And and again, when Kevin's on screen, it is played for laughs. When he is not on screen, it is the most serious thing.
Wow.
It is amazing. I mean, the show, it has its hit, from what I've seen and what I've heard, it has its hit and misses, but it is just the way it's filmed and just the idea of how it is made. That is crazy. And you never see Kevin outside of the sitcom world. So
it's like a bubble
it's a bubble.
Him.
It's like a weird bubble that surrounds just him. And like his the way he is infects everyone around him. That makes them like heightened reality, goofy, yuck 'em up sitcom.
That sounds really cool.
It's yeah. Like I said, I've watched the first episode and I've heard about it, the later episodes from other sources, and I am really looking forward to checking it out.
What's this on?
AMC Plus. Although I did not find it on AMC Plus.
Ah,
I did read about it the other day that it is canceled.
Oh, it did get canceled.
It's getting one more season.
Okay, that's good. That's good because the end, from what I understand, the end of the season is leading up to Kevin might be getting arrested, and we might actually be seeing what he is in real life.
Huh.
Oh.
Instead of crazy, wacky man.
Sitcom man.
Wacky. Yeah.
I was beginning to wonder if he was some kind of like, I don't know, supernatural being or something.
It's not a supernatural being.
It's not WandaVision.
It's like when he is on screen, he is the center of his own world. And when he is not on screen, everyone is having to try to pick up the pieces of what actually is happening.
The aftermath of his existence.
There was a thing where she was describing, and there was like a flashback or something like this, where the main character used to work at I think she's like a homemaker or works at a library or something, or she works at a gas station now, but she used to be like at a medical lab or something along those lines.
A very like,
Yeah, and she's describing this situation in where her husband Kevin got incredibly jealous of how she was making friends with people at her workplace and basically stalked one guy and threatened him.
Oh God.
To the point where she had to leave her job.
Oh.
But if you think about it in the context of a sitcom, that is just a wacky thing where, oh, here comes Kevin James. Oh no, I think my wife might be getting friendly with the coworker. I better go find out what's going on.
Yeah.
Where it can be told, you could see it in both ways, the stark reality and the crazy sitcom. It's kind of a weird dichotomy kind of thing.
Huh.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
That sounds wild.
It's a really interesting concept.
It's
a
very
shame
high concept.
It's a shame it's getting canceled apparently,
Yeah.
but I liked the first episode.
That is like some like.
It's kind of a bummer.
I mean, that's like some real like.
It's kind of a real bummer.
Creative writing. Like,
It is. Yeah, having to think, okay, what would a sitcom do, and what would be the real life ramifications of this sitcom, and how would this play out?
I feel like
if
this is
there
like
wasn't
somebody
a
sitting
camera.
around talking about like odd things that happen in something like Friends or The Office, and go, yeah, but how would that play out in the real world?
Yeah, imagine some of the stuff that Ross did in Friends. Now imagine
God.
that being what
In a-
real person would do in real life with
what would
real
happen.
ramifications. What would happen?
and how much monkey poop would be everywhere.
Well, yeah, but like just the kind of stuff he would pull trying to get close to Rachel.
yeah.
Yeah.
In the show, it comes off as, well, I mean, now it comes off as creepy, but at the time it came off as, oh, it's kind of charming. He's kind of a weird doofus, but whatever. But in reality, that is straight up stalking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it kind of it's that kind of thing. That's the whole concept of the show, and it's great.
Is Ross the worst character on Friends?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm glad we're all the same.
Okay.
The same boat.
Who's the best character?
Phoebe.
Is it Joey or Phoebe?
It's Phoebe.
Yeah, it's Phoebe.
Yeah.
I would say I would give it a close second to Joey.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Why is it that the least consequential characters on Friends are the ones that are the best ones?
Because of the most sufferable.
I'd have to say Lisa Kudrow is my favorite like actor out of the bunch.
Well,
too.
yeah, I agree with that. Although, again, I don't know much about what's his name outside Joey. I don't even know.
Lost in Space.
Lost in Space.
Oh, what's his name? Matt Blanc.
Matt Blanc. Yeah. Matt Blanc. Yeah.
Matt Blanc,
I don't know much about his life outside of.
I don't think there is much of one.
Yeah, I don't think he
Yeah.
really had like he had that Joey spinoff, and that was about it.
Oh, he has a show now,
Well, yeah.
but I still maintain that the Lost in Space movie that came out in the 90s is
The first DVD my family ever owned.
Yes. Yeah.
No, I'm dead serious.
But I still maintain that movie is infinitely better if you look at it not as a Matt Blanc starring role, but as a Joey Tribbiani starring role.
Yeah, that was his big break, and
That was
Flopped
Joey's
so hard.
yeah,
Yeah.
because it was Lost in Space.
Yeah, during the Friends summer break, Joey Tribbiani went to star in a Lost in Space reboot that tanked.
I loved that movie when I was a kid, though.
Well, yeah.
Speaking of movies,
Yes.
I watched Venom 2 yesterday.
Oh yeah, what'd you think?
It was really good.
Yeah?
I mean, it was just as good as the other one.
Good.
Maybe a little funnier.
Yeah.
It works so well because you constantly have Venom's commentary that's in Eddie's head the whole time.
That's one of my
That's
favorite
great.
things from the first movie.
It's almost like having like idiot meathead riffing the movie while you're watching it.
Oh,
it's
that's great.
It's very good.
Oh, that's great.
And I'm not gonna spoil the after credits, but it's very good.
Okay.
And you're gonna want to see it before you see the new Spider-Man.
Really?
I had a friend tell me what it is, and I'm like,
Huh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Without giving away too much. It was the most surprised I had been by an after credits in years.
Really? Oh, well, now I'm going to have to. I mean, I've been wanting to see
plus
Venom
it's only
2.
an hour and a half long. You're not.
Oh, that's
You're
great.
not losing much in that movie.
That sells me more than anything.
Oh, I know. In this world of 3-hour superhero movies.
Listen, I love a good 3-hour movie when I'm engaged, but sometimes I just want to pop down for an hour and a half of dumb fun
Yeah.
and then be
That's-
done.
And that's what Venom 2 is.
Yeah, that's what Venom 1 was.
Yeah, yeah. And if you liked Venom 1, this is more of
More
the
of
exact
that.
same, which
Okay,
is
good.
fine.
Honestly, Venom is the best part
Yeah.
of Venom.
Yeah. How was Woody Harrelson? How was that red-haired clown man?
It's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Like, story-wise, this one didn't tell as good of a story. It felt kind of just, like, disjointed and just, he's going nuts because he's a bad serial killer, man. Venom, stop him.
Yeah. Well, the first one didn't really have much of a plot either. That was more of a bunch of set pieces of...
Yeah, it's true, but it had a lot of, like, Eddie dealing with Venom and, like,
Yeah.
coming to terms with the fact
The
that he
Venom
had to
thing.
have the monster in him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Also, like, all those times, like, Venom was almost like Spawn done right.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Like if you take, like, the Spawn movie and, like, some of his powers or whatever abilities in that movie, but then you actually did good stuff with it, I feel like that's Venom, especially in the chase scenes and stuff.
Hey, whatever happened to that new live-action Spawn movie
Who knows?
with Jamie Foxx? Do you remember that?
Jamie Foxx was supposed to be...
Jamie Foxx
Al
was supposed
Simmons?
to be Al Simmons.
Huh.
Yeah. I think he was cast with that around the same time he was cast as Electro in Spider-Man, and I think he got so burnt on being in a bad superhero movie that he was like, I'm good.
There's some fun bits in Venom 2 where he splits away from Eddie for a little bit, and he just gets to be Venom, be himself,
Oh, really?
and that's fun.
Oh, cool. Cool. All right, well, hey, let's go ahead and take a break here, and when we come back, we'll get into some news.
This is Gail Martin.
Hi, this is Carol Kelly. We'd like to invite you to join us for our gardening and outdoors show here on WZMO. We talk about observations and insights about what's happening from week to week with plants and animals in the woods and fields around us, as well as what's going on in the garden.
In the Green Outdoors airs Saturdays and Mondays at about 9:30 a.m. right after the second cup. We hope you'll join us.
Hey, we're back. You just heard a couple of ads for various shows on the network. Let's go ahead and get into some news.
I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire!
I think my favorite part of that movie is the fact they didn't have extras. They just had people reacting to Nicolas Cage running down the street screaming that.
Yeah, they did not have the money for extras. So that was Vampire's Kiss, one of my favorite Nicolas Cage movies.
Also, the origin of some of the original internet memes.
Yeah. No, the best scene is when he is explaining to his secretary how to file documents.
Yeah. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Yeah, no, that whole movie is great. So why did we play that clip? Well, I'll tell you why. Nicolas Cage is going to be Dracula.
Like, straight up, he is going to be Dracula.
It's
not
come full circle.
Not a Dracula, the Dracula.
The Dracula in an upcoming film rendition of, it's called Renfield. It's a new take on the Universal monsters. It's actually starring, I forget the actor's name, but he plays Beast in the new X-Men movies. That guy.
As Dracula's wacky pal,
Yeah.
Renfield.
Renfield, the guy who eats bugs and was played by Tom Waits in
That's right, he
he
was.
was Tom Waits, yes.
That movie rules, too.
It does. I mean, Keanu Reeves is
Oh, he's awful in it.
he's the dirt worst in it, but I think it makes it fun.
Yeah. It's like it's the best Dracula movie there is.
It kind of is. I mean, well, I would argue that some of the Christopher Lee Hammer stuff is
yeah, like the Satanic Brides
yeah.
of Dracula.
is
and
like
stuff.
really good.
Oh, also good news for this movie. They got Awkwafina in there.
Perfect. Who's she playing? Is she playing like Mina or something?
They don't know yet.
Okay. Hey, that's cool. So this is going to be a lighthearted take on Dracula then. But yeah, I'm just excited to see Nicolas Cage as the old man in black Dracula, not Johnny Cash. I meant Dracula.
Nicholas Holt is Renfield.
Nicholas Holt, that's the guy. But no, he played Hank McCoy. He played Beast in the X-Men, like First Class and the reboot era.
Young, sort of reboot, sort of not.
X-Men's weird. Comics are weird.
Right, right.
he is more beast than Kelsey Grammer is at this point, I think.
I mean, Days of Future Past kind of really like says like these are similar timelines because they do meet back up.
It's like similar but parallel.
Yeah.
None of it matters anymore anyway. Cause,
Yeah,
That's
none
true.
none of it counts. But
But they're part of the greater Deadpool universe.
yeah, that's it. What do you guys think of Nicolas Cage as Dracula?
This is excellent casting. I think he'll knock that one out of the park.
Nicolas Cage is literally the Hollywood wild card. It could be great. It could be absolutely terrible.
Oh, have you seen Pig?
Yes, Pig was very good.
Pig was very good.
Pig is fantastic. He wants to get his pig back.
Yeah,
Nick Cage wants his pig back.
he does, and that sounds goofy, but it's actually very, very good. It's like a truffle hunting pig.
Yeah.
And he is like a world-class chef that is now living in the woods, like had a mental break or something?
I think so.
Yeah. Something happened. He is no longer a chef. He's living in the woods with his prized possession, his
truffle pig.
He loves that pig.
And someone stole his truffle pig. And he comes back to the city to go around the seedy underbelly of
So is this like
restaurants.
like Nicolas Cage does a John Wick?
Oh, he don't know.
No, that's what I thought it was.
And it's not.
And it's not. It totally turns that on its head.
Yeah.
Huh.
There's like
That's 100% where I thought it was.
I thought it was going to be like action Cage, but no, it's it's talky Cage, and it's very good.
Huh.
Yeah.
Because like I said, Nick Cage could do great things. Like you got like Con Air Nicolas Cage, you've got Face Off Nicolas Cage.
Oh, I don't know if Con Air is a good movie.
You've got
it's an enjoyable movie.
Sorcerer's
but I don't think it's a good movie.
Apprentice.
Nicolas Cage.
You know what? He's okay in
what's
that.
the one where he beats up animatronic monsters?
Willy's
Willy's Wonderland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we've talked about that on here before.
Or in Spider-Man Noir.
That was a discarded Five Nights at Freddy's script.
That's what I thought.
There are actually 2 or 3 movies that are literally discarded Five Nights at Freddy's scripts because the Five Nights at Freddy's man is so difficult to work with, apparently.
I wouldn't be surprised if. Do you remember that? It was for the Sci-Fi Network. The
Banana
Splits.
Yep.
I bet that
That
was
was one of them.
One of them. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I think I watched that and I don't remember anything about it.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
It's I only remember the vaguest bits of that, and it
Maybe
wasn't
I
very
didn't.
good.
I can't.
I think
remember
you
if I
did
watched it or
because I
not.
remember. I think you talked about it on the show, and
I remember the trailer.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And like we thought it was going to be like, a reference, but no, it was just straight up the Banana Splits.
I mean, they're not doing anything else with the Banana Splits.
Might as
Actually,
well.
that's not true. They're on Jellystone.
Oh, they are. That's right. Yeah.
And they're like a gang, like a street gang.
Tough guy finger snapping kind of thing.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to snort. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
But yeah, I mean, why not? Why not do a Dracula with Nicolas Cage?
Yeah.
Hey.
It's one of those iconic roles that he's going to get excited about, so he'll do a good job.
And that's exactly it. Yeah, you could tell the roles that he cares about and the roles that he is doing because he needs to pay his back taxes.
I still think they should let him be Superman.
They
for
technically
real.
did.
Like now, yes.
Oh, yeah.
He voiced Superman.
What was that?
In Teen Titans.
That's right.
Go
He
to
did,
the
didn't he?
movies.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Let him be real Superman in a real Superman movie.
Sure.
With an older Superman, I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
Dark Knight or The Dark Knight Returns. He could be Superman.
Yeah.
And get Michael Keaton to be old Batman.
That would actually be. I would watch that.
Yeah.
I thought
Give
you
me
were
my
about,
check.
I thought
Give
you
me
were
my
about
check.
to say Red Sun give Nicolas Cage a
Russian
bad
accent?
Russian accent and have him be bad Russian Superman.
That's not a bad idea either.
I mean, I love Red Sun.
He wants to take Green Lantern's face.
You mean Green Lantern, the tortured Vietnam vet Green Lantern?
Yep, that comic was weird and bad, and I didn't care for it.
I like it.
It was super edgelordy, cringy,
Yes.
hiding behind. Oh, we're setting it in a different country in an alternate timeline.
I think we need to mention real quick that Mandy is an amazing movie.
Mandy is an amazing movie. The Color
Out of Space.
The Color Out of Space is
he was
also
very
very
good
good
in that one too.
Yeah.
I still haven't watched. As much as I love Lovecraft stuff, I still haven't watched that.
It's very
Yeah,
good.
it's pretty good.
It's worth watching.
It's pretty good.
Though I'm really interested to see what Del Toro is going to do with the mountains at Madness.
Is he actually going to do that?
Yeah.
I know there's been talks about it for like forever long.
Yeah, he's
Oh, they've wanted to make that movie for like 100 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I recently saw something online where it's like on a go.
That's, hey,
Yeah, please.
more power to him.
I mean, he definitely seems to shine in that weird kind of gray area of like abject, horror kind of thing.
Sure.
I like people doing post Lovecraft where it re-examines the material through the lens of the fact that Lovecraft sucks.
Yeah.
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 Like there's a lot you can say through what he wrote about race and stuff.
Yeah. Anyway,
let's move on to some other news. Why don't you guys pick a news? We have a whole list in theory.
Let's go back to that Spider-Man. Well, we've already kind of touched on.
Let's talk about a Spider-Man.
Remember when they said this upcoming Spider-Man that comes out in 2 weeks was going to be the last one?
Yes, I do remember that.
It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom Holland's on the books for more Spider-Man movies.
currently 3.
Yeah.
This is my surprised face.
Dude's going to be Spider-Man till he's 30. But you know what? He's a good Spider-Man.
and you know what? When he's 30, he's going to still look 18, so it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
I mean,
he's
for
like,
all I know, he might be 30 now.
Maybe.
I mean, he is cursed with youthful good looks.
Yeah.
Yes. This is not a surprise to me in the least. I knew.
I mean, he's already played Spider-Man more times than any other Spider-Man actor.
Well, beyond that, I mean, technically, the guy who voiced the 90s Spider-Man cartoon has 198 episodes to his name.
This is also true.
But I'm just being pedantic. No, I'm not surprised by this at all. Sony has a good deal. They're making a lot of money without having to put out a whole lot of effort or money on their end up front.
Yeah, because
in order to make these,
Disney's this foot in the bill.
because they're making money while Disney foots the bill.
They got their sugar daddy Walt Disney.
It would be stupid for them to not. Yeah.
Hey, that was a good joke.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Yes, let's all take a moment and appreciate that. Very good.
Yep,
one.
I apologize for steamrolling that joke. That was very good. Would you like to say it again, nice and clear, for the audience?
Sugar daddy Walt Disney.
There we go. There it is. Make sure it's nice and isolatable for the soundboard later on. Yeah. This is fine. I just hope they keep coming up with decent, as long as they have a good story.
Oh yeah.
I'm good with doing whatever.
I mean, they're already like, I don't know, blowing my mind with we actually kind of getting a soft Spider-Verse with this new movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, cool. But after that, I'm like, what can you do? Because I feel like a Spider-Verse is kind of like the pinnacle of a Spider-Man story.
Oh no.
I don't know, man.
You could do more. You can do so much more.
Oh, I know. I mean, I know there are plenty of Spider-Man villains we haven't seen on the big screen yet.
You could do Kraven's Last Hunt.
Oh yeah.
I've
I've been wanting Kraven forever.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't I suggest somebody to play Kraven the Hunter a couple episodes ago? I can't.
You
I
did.
think you may have.
I don't remember who you said.
Oh,
though.
Joe Exotic.
Joe Exotic. Yeah, that's a good joke answer. The actual one I would like to see is what's his name, the comedian from Watchmen, or Negan from.
Oh yeah.
Negan's a good one.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
guy. Morgan. Last name's Morgan. Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yes.
Yeah, Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah. The dad from Supernatural.
Yes, he would make a fantastic Kraven the Hunter.
Oh yeah.
He really would.
He's got the build. He's got the jawline, and he's a good actor.
And it's a good isolated story that they could do an entire movie of.
Oh yeah.
Well, we're doing Walking Dead people. What about the Punisher man?
Oh, John Bernthal.
Yeah.
Who's been the Punisher, sort of.
He's Netflix Punisher, though. I
Yeah.
don't think that counts.
Although, from what I understand, this Spider-Man movie may make the Netflix shows canon because there was a leaked on-set photo. Whether it was doctored or not, I don't know. But apparently, Spider-Man's Peter Parker's getting sued for damages because now they have a name to put a face to put with the Spider-Man name, and they hire a lawyer, and it's Matt Murdock, and it's
Charlie Cox,
and it's actual Daredevil from the Netflix show.
It doesn't mean it's the same character.
It doesn't, but it means that
what kind of lawyer wears those kind of sunglasses?
A cool one.
yeah.
Or a blind one.
Well.
See, that's the thing. Like, I really liked the Netflix shows.
I did too, except I did too. Asterisks.
Yeah, right.
Except Iron Fist.
Iron Fist and the Defenders, because Iron Fist was there.
I like those shows too, but they don't mix with the MCU. They're too tonally different.
True.
Fair, but you know, the MCU stuff, they're trying to do different stuff tonally. Like WandaVision up until a certain point
That's true.
was tonally different.
Shang-Chi.
Eternals, from what I understand, is tonally different.
Bland.
Well, but that's different.
That is different. They haven't done a real bland one, I guess.
I mean, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness is supposed to be
Like a horror movie?
almost as close to a horror movie as they can go
As
with
Disney
it.
will let them.
Yeah. So, you know, they could do it. I don't see why they couldn't include that
I mean,
kind of stuff.
other than the fact that the Netflix stuff is hyper violent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Vincent D'Onofrio like crushing a dude's head with a car door.
Do you think they let Jessica Jones chug alcohol in an MCU movie?
Who's to say Moon Knight isn't going to be hyper violent?
It's true.
True.
Because Moon Knight as a character in itself is hyper violent.
I mean, yeah, he is kind of like, Deadpool meets Batman kind of thing.
Kinda, yeah.
Well, speaking of which, I've watched the first two Hawkeyes and they're very good
I've been wanting to watch them.
because they're Matt Fraction Hawkeyes.
Yeah, it's all.
Yeah, I've
because of the
heard
writing.
there's like a chase scene in an episode that basically pulls from like Hawkeye number 3.
Oh, Pizza Dog is in it.
Yeah.
Pizza Dog's in it. Nice. Well, now I'm sold. Now I'm sold. Let's see. We have a couple quick hits here.
Let's talk about Concerned Apes.
I was
Haunted
just about to go to that
Chocolatier.
because we mentioned it earlier.
Is that
Yeah.
what it's called? Haunted Chocolatier?
Haunted Chocolatier.
Yeah.
It looks like a good game.
Yeah, it's a new game by the Stardew Valley man himself, Concerned Ape, where you run a chocolate factory with ghosts.
With ghosts, yeah.
It looks like a lot like Stardew and like a refinement on a lot of those mechanics.
It does, yeah. It looks like it has a lot more of a story to it than Stardew. I'm honestly surprised it's not like just a giant bone like DLC pack to Stardew.
Yeah.
You build a chocolate factory.
Yeah.
You become the Willy Wonka.
It looks really neat though. I'm really
It looks
excited
charming.
to play it. Yeah,
Yeah, it looks charming.
I'd like to see what he does at a second game, his second album.
Yeah. It's weird to think that this is only his second major game.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because, well, then again,
he did put a lot of work into Stardew.
he continues to put a lot of work into Stardew. There's another patch that apparently this last patch they put out basically unscrambles a lot of the loose spaghetti code from his previous versions.
Because Steve
and
did it by himself.
Yes, and he's future-proofing it for future releases, so he is also planning future releases. That's good.
Which is fine.
That's
And
fine.
it does something with mod support too, makes it easier to mod. So that's
Yeah.
fun.
And that's awesome.
I mean, I feel like if you're going to have a PC game and you don't have mod support, you're just setting yourself up.
Yeah.
Yep. So tell me about this Amazon Mass Effect TV series.
I probably should have taken this one off the board because I don't remember a lot about it, but Amazon really wants to do a Mass Effect series, I guess.
Okay, I can actually set you up for this because I was trying to tee you up, but I do know a little bit about this
Okay.
one. So the Amazon Prime Video service has seen a lot of positivity from the Wheel of Time show, so they're basically scrambling to pick
I've
out.
heard it's good.
I've heard it's good. I heard it's very dense.
I mean, there's like 20 something books.
Yeah.
See, I don't know the source material.
Also,
for it.
Invincible was really good.
That's also what I hear. But Miss Maisel is actually really good as well. But that's less geeky and more like just a good show.
Also, it's pretty old too.
Well, yeah. Yeah, well, they're doing more of it. But anyway, yeah. Amazon's getting a lot of positive feedback for the sci-fi stuff from Wheel of Time, and they're like, okay, what else do we have the rights to? And they're like, oh, hey, Mass Effect, that's a game that had a story. We should do that. And there was a Instagram a while here recently of Henry Cavill was teasing reading a script from Mass Effect. although if you zoomed into it, he printed out the Wikipedia article for Mass Effect and was reading that in the picture as kind of a joke.
Oh, Henry Cavill.
Don't put him in. I don't want him to be Commander Shepard.
One, I don't think they should do anything with Shepard in this. Set it isn't there like a First Contact War or something like 100 years prior? I don't know much about Mass Effect, but I imagine it is kind of like Star Trek in that there was a First Contact War or something.
It is 100% like Star Trek.
Yeah. So set it 100 years in the past where there's no Shepard, or if there is a Shepard, it is a ancestor of the character from the games. And if they put Henry Cavill in it, I'm fine with it. Make him an alien.
Yeah. Don't
make him square-jawed action man. Make him the voice of like one of the alien guys. I don't know, the Covenant. No, that's Halo. Halo is the Covenant.
There's a lot of different aliens.
Well, the Covenant is not necessarily an alien race. It's a collection of alien races. It's like an alien federation.
Who is Garrus?
Garrus Valkyrian is I can't remember the name of his alien race.
The weird
he would be
squid head man.
He would be a good Garrus though.
Yeah. So like
he's got to calibrate the whatever.
That's
stupid meme.
That's the joke,
man.
That's the joke that we botched.
I really like Mass Effect, and I'm having trouble remembering anything about it.
I have never played a Mass Effect.
Oh, get the remaster. They actually did a good job on that one.
Isn't there some like weird cringy ninja man in like one of the later Mass Effects? That is like the Shadow the Hedgehog to your Sonic the Hedgehog.
I don't know.
It was like a weird, like almost like a writer OC insert character that they just threw in, and yeah, like you beat him in a fight, and then everyone tells you how badass the guy was by like, oh, you almost lost that fight to that weird ninja man. But no, you didn't.
I remember there being a ninja lady.
Is that the one with the mask? Like the visor face or whatever?
No, that's Tali, the best character in the entire franchise.
All right, we're just rambling at this point.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do we have anything else? Epic buys harmonics.
Oh boy.
Yeah, the guitar people. They invented Guitar Hero and did Rock Band.
Yeah, they did that, and they also did Drop Mix, which I personally enjoy quite a bit.
It's a neat card game.
It's a cool card game.
They always do really creative and cool music-related projects.
Yeah.
I hope that Epic doesn't just like completely squander the opportunity.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's Epic, so you know.
We haven't really had a music game. Like the genre has been cold for like a decade.
Yeah, and they tried to bring Rock Band back, and it didn't take, even though I bought it
at all.
They did.
I feel like it peaked at like Guitar Hero 3 and Rock Band 2.
They did Twitch Sings, and that was neat until they closed it down.
Well, yeah. I heard someone describe it as Epic's constant attempt to make sure there are no monopolies anywhere by buying everything.
By creating their own.
Their own, yes.
How can there be monopolies when all one?
Yeah.
I have such mixed feelings about Epic. They're not great.
I don't have mixed feelings. I don't like them.
The Unreal Engine is good though, and like it's accessible to use it.
Yeah, that's all fine and good. Their business practices are not less than stellar.
Oh yeah.
Trying to mobilize their base to go at Apple, like as a whole scheme. That was awful.
I'm glad they lost that one.
Yeah.
I'm really glad they lost that one.
Also, the fact that what they did, like, you know, when they were, you know, helping the PUBG people start out, and then basically just, oh wait, we kind of like this idea. Yoink.
Yeah.
Oh, this is working, and people are liking it. Let's do our own in 5 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then they did it to Among Us 10 years later or whatever.
Yeah. So we won't go into it, but we have to mention again, Activision Blizzard, there are problems.
It's still bad.
It's still bad over there.
Like, people are calling for, like, not only, like...
Bobby Kotick.
Yeah, not only for, like, for him, like, to step down, but also, I guess he's on some other, like, board of directors or something.
He will never be held accountable for what he does because he has too many people in high up positions also at Blizzard that would be in power to vote him down, and they never will.
Well, that's the other thing. He's on some other board of directors for some other company.
Yeah.
And I saw where like they're calling for him to be removed from that one too.
Well, I'll tell you, the only thing that is really going to help them out is Doug Bowser from Nintendo has basically said, hey, there's some stuff over there that we don't like, and until things are figured out, we are not dealing with them anymore.
Wow, he really said that.
He was pretty firm about it.
Wow, go Doug.
Yeah. Doug Bowser, he's not as out there as Reggie Fils-Aimé, but man, when there's something,
Oh, I would have liked Reggie's take on this one.
I would have liked it as well.
oh, Bobby Kotick is also on the board of directors for Coca-Cola.
That's what it is, and they need to get him off of that as well.
Did we talk about the committee that they started to fix the issue last time?
Oh, no, we didn't
we
talk
didn't?
about any of it because that's a mess.
They released a press release at like late in the middle of the night that they were starting a new committee to fix these problems. And this committee consists of the 2 women on the board of directors. And they're going to try to diversify their board of directors by hiring a diversity.
Oh, jeez.
It's like, we've got to get a token diversity in here, and that'll make all our problems go away.
Here, I was thinking you were about to say that the committee is now filled with a bunch more white dudes that are in the pocket of the head of Activision Blizzard.
It's the 2 women that are on the board. The only 2.
That's good. This whole situation of, anytime he says anything about, we're going to get to the bottom of this, it makes me think of that meme of the guy,
hot dog guy,
the guy in the hot dog suit saying,
anybody could have did this.
We're all trying to figure out who would have done this, which also makes me feel like I am a Darmok from Star Trek Next Generation, man in hot dog suit asking, we are all going to figure out who has done this. This is a deep cut for people who like Star Trek The Next Generation.
Also, watch that show that's from. Forget what it's called. I Think You Should Leave.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. It's the best
really
sketch comedy show I've seen in years.
Yeah.
But also the thing recently where they said like a salary report came out, and the fact that like there was a woman who was basically equal on the top who's making considerably less money.
Oh, when they hired a woman to co-lead Blizzard with some other dude, they actually paid her less to co-lead the company until they got called out for it.
It's unreal.
Yeah, it's trash all the way down.
Yeah.
Like I'm to the point where like I can't even look at my Blizzard library anymore.
The company needs to be burnt to the ground and rebuilt.
Yep.
That's all it is.
I haven't bought a Blizzard product since it happened, and I really wanted that remastered Diablo 2.
Right?
I haven't bought one in longer because I don't play WoW or any of that stuff. I think the only Blizzard thing I've ever bought was an amiibo.
You had to buy that Diablo amiibo.
Because I have to have them all.
The treasure goblin.
This right here, this is great for radio, but this right here is the extent of what I've ever paid Blizzard for anything.
Also, the fact that amiibo really made me mad because they took the sculpt of an existing toy.
It's just a sculpt. It's just a different sculpt. It's the same sculpt, and they put a different.
It's barely an amiibo.
Yeah, barely. All right, hey, we have actually hit time, so let's go ahead and wrap things up for the week. You have been listening to Nerd Overload. Thank you very much for tuning in. You can find us each and every day over at nerdoverload.com.
You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Patreon, and now TikTok at Nerd Overload Now.
You can send us an email at staff@nerdoverload.com. Send us an email about what your favorite amiibo is.
There's too many to count.
And why it's the one of the Metroid coming out of the capsule.
That is a very good one, yes.
You can also give us a call on the Nerd Overload hotline if Google hasn't shut it down yet. I did get a message from Google the other day that said, somebody needs to use this or we're going to shut it down.
Okay.
So I got to make a call from it here in the next couple days or it's gone. But the number for that is 586-372-8020, at least for now. Leave us a message and we might play it on the show.
You can also find our back episodes on various podcast apps such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, and more. And finally, I'd like to thank David Pencil for the use of our intro. You can find more of his stuff over at davidpencil.com. So again, thank you all for tuning in, and we will be back next week.
Pizza out.